Hey, welcome to another fantastic episode of my channel. Since we're covering video games, I guess we'll call it Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Kid Dracula on the NES. This is actually a Japanese game. Let's say that I said the real Japanese name of this, and let's not actually do it. So, let's say that we did but didn't. So, yeah, this is Kid Dracula. There's actually a Western release of a Game Boy version of this, but this actually came out in Japan on the Famicom. I don't know if it came out on anything else. I'm not an expert in the ways of Kid Dracula. You'll have to forgive me for not being an expert in the ways of Kid Dracula. For instance, I don't know whether this is supposed to be Dracula or Alucard. Based on a majority of the things that I've read, I think that it's based on Alucard, but I've seen other videos saying that it's actually Dracula, but it's Kid Dracula, which is really weird because they know vampires aged, at least with Alucard, since he's half human, half Dracula. That could make some sense, I guess, though he's prematurely graying and looks green. I think he's green. I don't know. I'm colorblind. So when I'm playing this, I haven't played this for a long time. I forgot that you could shoot up. So we're gonna say we're playing as Dracula. Since I can't read Japanese, I'll make up the story. So apparently you're fighting some demon dragon thing, because usually you're fighting Dracula in these types of games. By the way, if I didn't mention, which I know that I didn't, so I don't know why I said that, this is a spin-off off of the Castlevania games. Now, if you listen to the music, which you can barely hear, I'm sure, in this video, because I'm trying to avoid getting strikes for playing games. Who knows? Konami actually gives a lot of strikes for whatever reason. This is a fairly impressive game because the sprites are quite large, but there's a little remix of Castlevania playing in the background. This level's Castlevania theme, but after this level, at least from what I played through, it looks like it goes out of the Castlevania theme things. A lot of Japanese games have like these ghosts that go up and down. I'm thinking of at least the patterns with ghosts and goblins, but I feel like I've seen like those type of ghosts in other games, but of course now that I'm making a video I can't recall any kind of example to give you. But it's kind of cool that you're going through Castlevania. That's really awesome. This is very impressive for the size of the sprites, although I feel like the game pays for it. There's quite a bit of slowdown in this game. Now, I don't know if that's because of the version I'm playing and what I'm playing it on, but I looked up videos on YouTube and it looked like that person was suffering from slowdown, but maybe they were playing on the same thing as I was. I don't know. NES isn't particularly known for large sprites, and some of the stuff that they're pulling out, like this clock tower level, with the swinging pendulums, with the large sprites, it's a lot for the NES/Famicom to handle, for the simple fact that I remember in Castlevania 3, whenever they had the swinging pendulums, they were usually, I believe that's what they're called. I don't fucking know. I'm not a clock expert, especially old clocks. I have a Fitbit. That's what I tell time on in my phone. And the Bluetooth or whatever on the Fitbit shot, so it doesn't even work with my phone, so I just use it to tell time, and it shows fireworks every time I take like 10,000 steps. So there's some trivia for you. Very reminiscent of Castlevania 1 over here. I guess Castlevania 3. I feel like this is Castlevania 3-ish, but I feel like, judging by the date says 1990, but I have to also keep in mind that this is a Japanese game, and the Japanese Castlevania 3 came out earlier than the one that we got, so maybe this came out after Castlevania 3. I have no idea. The Game Boy version, I feel like this part's fairly similar, although it's not like, it doesn't have the swinging pendulums. you'll notice that the ghost has a swastika, which is probably why it didn't come here. But this boss is in the Game Boy version. They just take the swastika off. But in Japan, the swastika, whatever it is, means something else. So it wasn't supposed to be a Ku Klux Klan member, but the choice of it being a ghost is kind of odd. Now, even though this is a child's game, or it looks like a child's game, it does get fairly difficult. As you'll notice, this is going to be a fairly short video because I'm not too good at this game, but it's really nice. I'd like to play it more. I'd like to play more of this game. When I played it at the time, as I mentioned in the last video, so I'm actually not telling the story in order. So I mentioned it in the last video, my store was closing, and that's kind of a bummer. Well, it's a major bummer because it's actually my favorite job that I've ever had. I can't imagine, unless I'd become a film director or a video game developer with successful IPs, or maybe a published author with a respectable fan base where people can geek out over my work. I don't imagine me getting a job that I like as much as this one, so it's kind of a bummer, but I figured it appropriate for me to do this game because I remember when I originally worked at this place, which I didn't want to leave at. When I did, I just couldn't afford it at the time. There's a lot going on in my life, and I was forced to leave by financial obligations because I was paying for a car at the time and all this other stuff, and I had to leave. But anyway, when the job was still fairly new, I remember playing Kid Dracula for the first time. So I figured it appropriate to play it again towards the last time I'd work at this place. I never thought I'd get another chance to work there again, but everything lined up and I got to work at this place for a few months, and it's been fantastic. I met some of the coolest people ever. I'm so happy I made some awesome friends. It's so cool, like it's bittersweet, like I'm leaving, but at the same time, like I don't know what any of the hell this shit's going on. Sorry, that sounds like that's part of my story, but it's not. So I'm just pushing A as fast as I can. Now the next level I'll do terrible at. I feel like I've done better at it. For whatever reason, this level suffers quite a bit from slowdown, which I think it makes it more difficult. But what a way to start a second level. Now, even though I played this, I'm trying to think. I think I played this in late 2008. Is it late 2008? Nope. Late 2009. Yeah, late 2009. Sorry, my brain just froze. I should have pulled out my resume and looked at that. But yeah, I played this in late 2009. I remember playing it. I was working at a t-shirt factory or a print shop as well, which was really cool. I was actually selling creative things that I really liked and making them at the same time. Although I did sell them at that time too. But I remember playing it and enjoying it, and I don't know, I just never played more of it for whatever reason. At the time, I was playing a lot of PlayStation 3. I was getting burnt out on retro stuff. This is before I started making YouTube videos, although I feel like YouTube was a thing that I was actively watching then. I do feel like that. And gaming channels were starting to become a thing, although there weren't a whole lot of gaming videos back then. I remember seeing Classic Game Room. That was a popular one, and Steve Benway. Those were like the two main YouTubers I would watch. I'm trying to think. There was another channel. They like quit. Like, it sucks. Like, a lot of my favorite channels are no longer. Now this part is pretty much what you're gonna see of in the rest of the video. But I will say the sprites are really nice. But We went from a castle to rocket turtles on a roller coaster from hell. Like, this game's not exactly sure what it wants to be, and then you have these kids throwing thunder and lightning and stuff and ducks, and I don't know why everybody hates Kid Dracula so much. They're really out to get him. I believe that says game over. I actually took my phone towards the end with Google Translate, which you actually can use a picture mode. It struggles. I believe this is kanji. It struggles a little bit with kanji, and it like flickers where I have to like pause it and then highlight the things that I wanted to highlight. So I feel like I played an English version of this in 2009, but I can't say for certain, for the simple fact that gosh, the years are really messing with me. A lot happened in the short amount of time that was going on with this stuff. That's why it's throwing me off, because I'm not necessarily thinking about 2009. I'm thinking about things that happened after, and it's just, I guess I never thought about how close so many like so many huge things happened in my life, good and bad. My 20s are a lot like this roller coaster. A lot of flying off, a lot of fun little turns, and I don't know. You're up in the clouds one minute, and the next minute you're like falling to your death. I was doing a lot of dating back then. It's just a lot. Relationships, different jobs. I moved out away from my parents for the first time, and not in 2009, that was in 2010. Just so much stuff like happened in a short amount of time, and now my life is kind of boring and uneventful, though I am really happy that I was able to get this job and excel at it, and again, like, be able to have the opportunity to revisit it, because yeah, the first time I had to leave, like, everybody's like, bye, oh, make sure you come back to visit us. And I remember having to run out because just in case I felt the lump in my throat, just in case I didn't want anybody to see a tear coming down. So this job that's closing, it's super emotional. Like, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities as far as jobs go, but there'll never be a job like this. And it's pretty crazy that I haven't even been at this place a year, and I'm so attached to it. I mean, granted, I was attached from before, but this is like all new people, and I still just love it so much, and it just, I don't know. I guess good things can't last forever. Anyway. Yeah, so apparently my brain just froze. Obviously it didn't froze because I'm able to talk. If it froze, like, I would basically faint and eventually die. But anyway, that was a really stupid statement to make. I don't even know why half of the shit comes out of my mouth during commentaries. You know, I plan these commentaries out, and I think of all these great things to say, and then once I get in front of the microphone, I can't think of a damn thing to say. But anyway, yeah, I feel like during the time that I played it in 2009, I feel like I played an English version, but I'm starting to feel like that was like one of those Mandela effects things where they talk about like how you swore that you did something or seen something and it never really happened. You kind of convince yourself, and sometimes you can even convince other people and stuff like that. So this is when I took my phone. Apparently it says like the cancer, whatever that dragon thing's name is, spread, and it was in really broken English, and you can take your phone and scan it right now, or if you can read this fluently, more power to you. But this is a pretty fun game. I would check it out if you have the means to play it. Seems cool. I think you'd appreciate it more if you liked Castlevania games, but yeah, I'm going to try to be better about posting videos more frequently. I would like to post non-video game related videos like I always say, but I don't know what's going on. Like, I've been kind of disappointed with my camera quality, so if I do it, forgive me for the quality if I film other stuff beside video games. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much, and take care.
If you want to, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.